What's up, internet? This is T Clinton1. I'm feeling really under the weather right now, honestly, but I'm starting to get a sore throat. But I wanted to get this video out there. So, Mad Max Fury Road is probably my most anticipated movie of next year. They were unveiling it at Comic-Con. Now I just want to get this out of the way. I love the Mad Max trilogy. Hell, The Road Warrior was number 7 on my top 12 favorite movies, but even as much as I love these movies, I was skeptical about the fourth film. I was much more excited actually about the game, as being able to play in the Mad Max universe is a very appealing idea to me. One of the reasons I was so skeptical is I didn't know where else they could go with the story. Another reason is I love George Miller as a director, but the most recent sequel he did was Happy Feet 2. And I actually liked the first Happy Feet, but the sequel was really disappointing. So I was concerned, like, is Mad Max going to get the same treatment if they do a Mad Max sequel? But then I saw the trailer. Now I have been watching this trailer for a while, but it was a really badass trailer. It got me really excited for this movie. I'm really pumped for this movie now. I don't think I've been this excited about a movie since I saw the trailer for Toy Story 3. It's an amazing trailer, and I wanted to give my thoughts as to what I think is going to happen in the movie. So the trailer starts out. Mad Max has actually pretty long hair. Max is like kind of bedraggled looking. So I'm thinking, is this actually after Thunderdome? I don't know. Maybe it looks like he still has the Interceptor. So maybe it's after Thunderdome. He's not with all the kids from the end of Thunderdome, so I'm not sure. I think it might be a little bit like the new Planet of the Apes movies, where it's more or less a reboot, but it's still kind of in continuity, so to speak. But I don't know. That's just what I think. But almost immediately he actually gets captured by a little group of marauders, which that shot of them chasing him looks very, very similar to the shot of the marauders chasing him from the Mad Max game trailer, which makes me think, yeah, that game's probably going to be a movie tie-in game. Or maybe not. Hell, it could be a little bit like Shadow of Mordor, where it's more or less a movie tie-in, but it's kind of its own thing. I hope it's like that, because that game looks cool. I still think the Mad Max game's going to rock, but right now I'm more excited for this. Anyway, so we see he gets captured, and they shave his hair down, which, I mean, there you go. That's why he looks like basically Max from right after the Road Warrior, pretty much. And they also tattoo something on his back. Now, I can't really read what it is. My eyes aren't that great. But I think I could make out the words universal donor. And I'm not really sure. I think that might be could be actually a big part of the movie, what's written on his back. Now, in terms of the word donor, I know the villain of the movie, at least from pictures. The villain of the movie is called Immortan Joe. He's the guy with the skull mask, you know? And it looks like he's got a lot of injuries, so maybe he might need Max's organs. I don't know, something like that. Um, so we then see Furiosa, who's Charlize Theron's character, and she's got a mechanical arm. I think this character has some sort of tragic past, because later we see like a split second of her with what appears to be both arms just screaming into the sky, and that just like that's probably a flashback to some sort of tragic event. Most likely she also loses her arm a little later. So I also think that someone else with mechanical arms, because Furiosa has just one, and there's a shot of this guy, I think riding what looks like almost like a tank type vehicle, screaming with two mechanical arms. Now, he could be a hero, but he looks a bit like an antagonist. Now, even though Immortan Joe, who looks really cool, and he's actually the same actor that played Toe Cutter in the original Mad Max. Now, even though Joe's going to be the main antagonist, I think there's going to be more than one. Because usually there's about 2 or 3 antagonists in a Mad Max movie. I think it'd be cool if there were actually multiple antagonist factions fighting each other as well as the heroes. But that guy looks like a brute. Could be one of the villains. I don't know. It's just kind of what I'm speculating. Now, so far the only plot that has been revealed is Max and Furiosa, along with whatever group they're with, are trying to cross the desert. Now a lot of you might be wondering why. Here's what I think. If you listen in the beginning of the trailer, you hear a bunch of radio broadcasts, and a couple of them mentioning that the world is running out of water. I think there's some sort of water storage plant or spring or something on the other side of the desert, and I think that's what they're trying to get to. So, I think they're going to become in conflict, obviously, with Immortan Joe and his gang. I think he's, because you see like war medals on him. I think he's actually some sort of general, or maybe he just killed some military people and picked that up. That might be the case, but I don't know. These are all just theories. Um, there's also a scene where there's every main character is kind of stationary, and I think that's Rosie Huntington Whiteley. Like she like puts her fingers together and kind of sees like a line of trucks coming through. And I think that scene. Here's what I think that scene's basically is. I think that at a point the main characters are gonna run out of fuel, and then that's when like Immortan Joe's like catching up. That's what I think that scene is. There's a really cool scene in the trailer where there's these guys on like big pipes leaning down and picking people up, and that's basically the moment. Because I thought the trailer looked really cool, but that was the moment where I was like, okay, this is Mad Max. That was the moment where where this became like the movie that I was most anticipating. Um, there's also a scene of Max fighting some people in like a pit of water. I think that's going to be at the end where they reach, or I mean, if that's even the plot of them reaching the water. If that's the case, and I think that would be after they reach it. I don't know what the hell that big fire tornado is. It looks pretty cool. I'm a little concerned about the use of CGI. It's part of the charm of the originals is it had just as much destruction as a modern day action movie, but it was all practical effects, and that's really cool to see. Tom Hardy looks like a pretty good Mad Max. Charlize Theron, good actress, thinks she can do a good job. Some of the actors, I'm not a big Nicholas Hoult guy, and Rosie Huntington Whiteley, I'm very skeptical about. For the most part, yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how this villain's going to be because he sounds interesting. He sounds a lot like Humongous in the kind of wounds and masked figure, and Humongous was an awesome villain. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description. Check out that trailer. It's really cool. If you have any other theories, comment below. Feel free to share them. So yeah, that's all I really got to say for now. It's T.1 signing out.